I just naively thought that she was always going to be there. I'll never forget that day because I remember that I drove back from the hospital just thinking that there were so many things I didn't know about her. Hi, I'm Elma, and this is why you need to talk to your mom. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer in 2001, I realized I still had so many questions I never asked her. I also realized I hadn't told her enough how much I cared about her. She was a very loving and a very caring mother, and she always had the answers. But then she turned ill, and suddenly my strong mother wasn't as strong anymore, and I just had this need to connect with her. I always thought that my mother just had a little bit more boring life, because she was always at home. I wanted to know what her favorite recipe was when she grew up, or, I wanted to know, did she ever fall in love, and what age, and, did she like school? Was she good at school? What were her father and mother like? And this is the reason I made the book Mom Tell Me. When I gave her the book, she was delighted to fill it in. I wanted her just to answer the questions, to put pictures in there and other souvenirs, like, I don't know, maybe newspaper articles or things she had kept. And we created this bond and connection because we got talking on a whole different level. There's this one story in there about school. And it's a story, I never knew this until I read the book. It was about the time that I was 5 years old, and I got to go to school. I'd asked my mom, I said, I'm all grown up now, can I go to school by myself? And my mom, of course, didn't think it was a good idea. I really, really wanted to, so she let me. So that day I walked to school all feeling grown up and mature. But what I didn't know is that she had followed me, and she would hide behind a tree. So just to give me the feeling that I was just doing this on my own. And I think this was how my mom was. She believed in me, but always tried to make sure that I was safe. If she wouldn't have written it down, I would have never known. In every person's life, there's this moment of realization, something could go wrong, and that happened in my case. My mom passed away last year, and of course I miss her. I miss her every day because she was such a great person and she meant the world to me. Now I look back on the time that I had with her with a smile on my face. And yes, of course, every now and then with a tear as well. For me, there was nothing that I could have said or nothing that still needed to be said. We live in such a busy society, which is on 24/7, and we're starting to communicate more and more in fragments. Put away your phone for a moment, and when you hug your children, be there in the moment. Spend time with your mom, and it doesn't need to be that you do 8 hours of being together, but if you're there, be there with your real attention. When I'm old and gray, I'm going to be looking back on my life with a smile on my face, and I won't remember my car or my house. I'm going to remember that moment that I cracked up with my best friend, or I gave that hug to my mother, just knowing, that those are the people who actually make my life brighter and better. If there's one thing I could say to her, it's thank you for believing in me, always.